A fear of failure, that's just something we've been taught. We've been taught not to fail, to be afraid to fail. Hi, my name's Bertie, and today I want to talk about fear of failure. The reason I want to talk about fear in general and just fear of failing is because it holds so many people back. And whenever I speak to business owners or people that are sat in the rat race and they want to start something new, often there's a fear that has been learned that is actually stopping them from moving forward. And that's what I wanted to address today. If you're enjoying the content of this video, it would be amazing if you could just hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. And that way, every time I publish a new video, you're going to get that notification first. So you're actually born with two fears. One is a fear of loud noises and the other is a fear of falling. Every other fear that we have in our adult life has been learned. So a fear of failure, that's just something we've been taught. We've been taught not to fail, to be afraid to fail. The good news is though, with any of these fears, and anyone that's had to overcome a fear, maybe a fear of flying or a fear of spiders, both of those have been my fears in the past, will know that you can actually unlearn these fears. Not all fears are bad. Fear is actually there to keep us safe. But when it's applied in a business context, it can actually keep us playing far too safe and not take any risks at all. Of course, not having any fear and taking loads of risks is really, really bad. But what I'm trying to get at today is there a fear of failing that's actually stopping you trying something new? Is your fear of failing stopping your business from actually moving forward? Think about when you see toddlers playing. They have no fear whatsoever, literally nothing. Their curiosity knows no bounds. They're going to run and climb and jump off things and all that sort of stuff until they learn that actually some of those things are bad, either when they hurt themselves or they get told off. So I want you to think about this in the context of business. What fear is actually holding you back? What is stopping you moving forward? Producing video content is a great example. I speak to a lot of people who say, oh, I wish I could do video content. I'm so scared of being on camera, and actually give themselves all of these reasons that it's not going to work. Whereas actually, you're not thinking about what will happen if it does work. I hear all the time, oh, I should be doing this, or I wish I could do that. But actually, people have never, ever even tried it. And it comes down to fear. They're scared. They won't admit that they're scared, but there's something there. There's something that's actually physically stopping them. It could be that maybe they'll put a video out there and no one's going to watch it. Maybe they'll put a video on there and someone will give a negative comment. It could actually be that one person from school that you've not seen for 20 years that was really annoying, that actually you're scared to post something in case they see it and actually give you a negative comment. But these things are actually holding you back. Because actually, it doesn't matter. When you come to rationalize those fears, they're so tiny, they are literally stopping you from moving forward. And that's what I'm trying to get over with you today. So actually, when you think of failing, and when you think about it logically, do you actually think that somebody's going to take joy in that? And even if those people are those people that you actually care about at all? Do you value their opinion? If those people are in your head from stopping you doing something new, would you actually listen to their opinion in real life on something positive? So for example, would you go to them with a new business idea, or would you confide in them with something else? The chances are probably not. So whoever these people are, whatever these fictitious figures in your head that is stopping you moving forward from your business, just forget about them and just do the stuff that you want to do. As soon as you start to do something, what you will find is that actually these people, and everybody in general really, is far more worried about themselves than anything that you're doing anyway. So don't let other people stop you testing stuff out and actually finding what works for you in your business. So how can you overcome these fears? Well, I've just got a couple of steps that actually should help you today. So step one, if you want to try something new, if there's something maybe you've been putting off because maybe you're a little bit scared about it, then actually try and focus on the positive result. Try and think about what success will look like if you then go ahead and do that thing, rather than focusing on the negative. Because if you think about the negative, then you're going to get so fixated on that negative point, you're not going to be able to move past it. But if you focus on what success will look like, then actually you can start to visualize that success, and that should help you overcome that initial fear, because we can just move past it and focus on the success. Another thing you can do is to actually set these goals. When I talk about setting goals, I mean write them down. Put them on a whiteboard, stick them on your fridge. It doesn't matter where, but write them down and then you can work towards them. Because then whenever you're trying something new, you can reference it and you know that you're working towards your goal. So then actually it doesn't matter what somebody's thinking about it because you're not worried about them, you're focused on your goal. And another great way to think about when you want to do something new is just think about everything as a test. It might work, it might not. And this you can apply to anything in your business. And I've got much more video content to come around testing things. So when you think about a test, actually write down what the test's about and what you think the outcome's going to be. What you're doing here is you're betting on yourself, you're betting on your ideas, and then test it for a period of time. A lot of times in business, we don't know what works and we don't know what's not going to work. We just have to test it. But when you're testing things in a controlled environment, as in, right, I'm going to try doing this for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, it makes it much more manageable than to think, right, I'm going to start going live on Instagram every single day. You don't have to do that. You can test it for a couple of weeks, commit to doing it once a day, every day, and see what happens. So when I say about betting on yourself, you literally really are. And if you can't bet on yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect that other people are going to buy into you? How do you expect that other people are going to buy what you're selling or buy your services? You need to bet on yourself first, and then the rest will fall into place. Another thing you can do is stop comparing yourself to others. When you're comparing yourself, you're comparing what you feel on the inside to what other people are projecting on the outside. And it's not real. You're only seeing what people want you to see. Everybody has to start somewhere. So if you're comparing yourself to someone that's going live on Instagram every day and they've got loads of following and everything's great and you want to start that, they had to start there too. Nobody was born with all of these talents. No one was born knowing how to run a business. All of these things we've learned through trying and failing and listening to people and getting a mentor and all that other stuff. So don't forget that everybody's had a journey to get to where they are today. And the final thing I want to add, if you want to test something new, is if there's a risk, try and mitigate it. So if there's something that you're worried about and it's a genuine, tangible risk, then just try and mitigate that and make that risk as minimal as possible. A couple of examples are, if you wanted to start a new business and you've got this idea and you want to go and test it out and that's all great, one way of doing that would be just to go and hand in your notice in your job and then go and start on your side hustle. That's a risk. If you're relying on that salary, then you're putting yourself and whoever else is relying on that salary at risk. You can mitigate that by, rather than giving up your job, give up something else. So maybe give up the few hours in the evening when you're watching Netflix. Maybe get up an hour or two earlier and actually spend that time working on your business. Test it out. Test out whether customers want your idea first. So with anything, you can always mitigate risk. So the point I'm trying to get across is, if there's something that you think you should be doing and there's a fear inside you that's stopping you, just sit back and actually think, what is that fear? How can I overcome it? Is it actually a serious risk? Can I mitigate it? And just test things. Just test things out and actually see how they go. And if you're doing a controlled test for a set period, it's either going to work at the end of it or it didn't. But whether it works or not, you will definitely learn something. And that learning will make you stronger when you're testing things in the future. I really hope you've enjoyed the content of this video today. If you've got any questions at all, just hit it in the comments as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for another video very soon.